and gentlemen, it's the June 2018 Nitro Reports from the studios of the West Coast Funny Car Factory, brought to you by Aeromotive Fuel Systems at aeromotiveinc.com, Good Vibrations Motorsports at dragparts.com, Racepack Data Systems at racepack.com, and Stith Printing, Legends of Nitro, for all your screen printing and embroidery needs at stithprinting.com. Now, tonight, it's a star-studded lineup from start to finish with Roland Leong, Bucky Austin, Bobby Cottrell, Mendy Fry, Drew Austin, Austin Prock, and James No Austin Maher. Now, here are your hosts, Donnie Couch and Darr Hawthorne.
Well, Darr, here we are again, buddy.
Yeah, Donnie, we made it through another month of, there's enough stuff going around Southern California.
It's a little early, but we couldn't wait, man. We missed everybody, I guess.
Well, and we got a really special thing tonight.
Yeah.
We got Roland on the phone, and we got a bunch of amazing photos from Lou Hart, who pulled them out of the Tom West collection. He's got something like 300,000 negatives, but he managed to pull some photos.
Thank you,
We've
Lou.
got a pretty cool video that I put together of Tom the Mongoose McEwen, and a tribute to him tonight.
Yeah, very special guy. I started my career with him. I was on tour, 12 years old, working for him, and he was just a great human. You know, sad that he went away as quick as he did, because he had a surgery and was recovering from that, and then next thing we know, he was found dead, and he's going to be missed by a lot of people.
Well, also, and then there's a big celebration of his life coming up at the museum.
July 14th at 2:00, and I think that it's gotten so big they're going to do the auditorium at the Sheraton first, and then have like a social at the museum later.
That's great.
Because it's going to be so overwhelming with the people.
That's great.
That are going to be there, and a lot of presentations, and thanks to Lynn Rose and Lynn Perdome. They're doing a lot of the arrangements, and Don Perdome for stepping up and being there for his old buddy,
Well, they're sure amazing competitors and great friends for a long time.
Yeah, it was a love-hate relationship, and I got to witness it from a little kid up till, right before he passed. McEwen was always at the March meet, the reunion, and of course they did that movie together, and we had a lot of fun with that, and some great interviews, and them bantering back and forth, and it's just it's a sad day in racing, because they both made history together.
Well, let's get another person who's involved in that history, is Roland Leong.
Speaking of history, yeah.
Hey, Roland, you there?
I'm here.
Hello?
He's there.
Donnie probably remember more things when I helped Tom, because I know he was there, than I probably remember. But then again, I got an excuse. I'm old.
Hey, Roland, here's one thing I do remember. I was with McEwen, and we were at Indianapolis at the Nationals, and hurt all of our engines qualifying and had nothing to race with. And you guys were so tight, you loaned McEwen a motor. And I remember you didn't want all his animals working on it, and so I was elected to adjust the valves and take care of your motor for you. But I thought
how did it run? I don't remember that, Don, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, it was quite a deal. I don't remember, Roland, what happened after that. It's been so long ago and so many races ago, but I do remember you coming over there and showing me how you wanted the valves adjusted, and I still adjust all my valves the same way you taught me to this day.
The only thing I forgot about it, to tell you the truth, is that I watched a Steak and Mongoose movie a couple of times, and I was on the set and all that. And after I watched it about 2-3 times, I always wonder. I says, now why did McEwen have a single in the semis? Okay, and I forgot all about that.
Yeah, that was you guys crossed the center line, right?
Yeah. And it didn't. I forgot about it. I didn't know. I didn't remember that. How's that?
Oh yeah. Well, it's been a lot of racing, Roland. A lot of years, a lot of racing, man.
So I think it was at the March meet, or I don't know when, or one of the reunions. I went up to McEwen and says, "Hey, sucker, I said, "You're lucky we crossed the center line. Otherwise, your movie wouldn't come out like the way it should." And we laughed, you know. Anyway, and one compliment that he gave me that I never really thought about is that after I let go from that Ron Hodgson car, I told on one of our dinners, McEwen said, "Well, now what are you doing?" I said, "Well, you know, I just they let me go because someone else wanted to run the car and whatever, right?" And I said, "Well, you know," he said, "What are you going to do?" I said, "Well, I really don't know, you know." And he said, "Well, you don't have nothing to worry about." I said, "Why is that?" He said, "Well, everything you touched, you made run better, right? Okay." And which I never realized that, you know. And about 2, 3, 4 years, 5 years later, I kind of thought about it. And this last year, at the reunion, I went over to McEwen and thanked him, and because I never really realized that, and it was something that he kind of woke me up to, you know.
Yeah, well, Roland, I know he had a lot of respect for you, as we all did, because you knew how to run a hot rod and not blow it up every run. And, you know, you're working out of Keith Black's shop, and that was like a Keith Black shop car there, and you guys made a lot of runs, and I thought you did it with minimal damage through your whole career.
Well, like I tell guys, you know why that was, huh, Donnie?
Why?
Because I had to pay for it. I'm cheap.
No, but a lot of respect out to you, Roland, man. You had some of the nicest looking cars and good running cars and did a lot of racing. And like I said, McEwen had a lot of respect for you. And I know you guys were good enough friends. You loaned him a motor, you know. That's pretty big. That's pretty big.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Well, you know, like I say, we were old school, I guess, you know, for all of us, you know, at the time. And like they used to rip me pretty hard, see, because when Padone first started driving my car, you know, we had the Snake and Mongoose match races, you know.
Yeah.
You know. And this one time, maybe I shouldn't tell it, but I'm going to anyway.
Go ahead.
McEwen beat us.
Yeah.
And the first one, he left on Padone. Boy, Padone, he was harder than a mother, right?
Yeah.
Right, okay. The next one, well, you know, we flat out run him, right, okay? But, you know, our car just was quicker that night, right, okay? Okay. And the last one, I guess, McEwen beat us, but supposedly, he went up to the starter and told him, "Hey, you're taking too long." Well, you know, Long Beach had the button, you know, the flag on the button, you know.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't, you know, nobody. I don't know. I wasn't a driver, so I don't know how the drivers thought and how they left. Right. Well, McEwen just went up there and he had nothing to lose, right? So as soon as he staged, he just brought the hours up and left, right? Well, I think we were on low ET. It might have been even a track record, and he beat us. Right. Padone was so mad, and he was driving Bainey's car at the time. Right? He was so mad he went over there and chose everybody off and whatever. And after that, we didn't talk to McEwen, and I couldn't talk to him either, right? For about 3 months, you know. And after that, we told us, you know, years later, right? You know, we told a story, and you know, it was funny, right? You know. Right? But like you say, that was a love-hate relationship them two had all along.
Yeah,
right?
their whole career, you know, as a little kid being on the road with them with the Hot Wheels cars, you know, I seen it every time, and you know, McEwen would always rib Padone, try to get underneath his skin and, you know, rattle him a little, but you couldn't rattle Padone, man. He was a fierce competitor, and man, he was focused.
Like he was so focused that actually when I worked for Padone, and I know this is about McEwen, not about Padone, but when I worked for Padone, just to show you how focused he wasn't even driving. And he said, "Hey, come with me." Well, I'm working for the guy, right? What can I say? No, right? Okay. So I went with him. And you know why he wanted me to go with him? Because he didn't want nobody bothering him, asking for his autograph and all that. He was that much focused on doing what he was doing.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. That we may believe we were talking so nobody would bother us, so to speak, right? And we just kept walking, right? You know?
Yeah.
And after that, when he said that, I says, "Hey, sucker, I got work to do. I can't go with you, you know." and I didn't go, you know. But anyway.
Well, you know, a lot of years of the snake and mongoose, and you know, and now there's no more snake and mongoose, man. It's I know.
Yeah.
Don,
but then again, you know, it's all of us. None of us are invincible. You know, it's.
Now nobody gets out alive, right?
Yeah, and we all get into that age. You know, you know that Joe Shirk. You know, he just passed away, right? Okay, you know.
Well, it's just been a rough year. We lost Dale Emery and Steve Pfluger and Dee Gant and now McEwen. Luckily, after Mike Cool's 80th birthday party down there at Price Transfer, I heard McEwen had surgery, so I was concerned about him, and I called him like on Tuesday, and he sounded good, said he got through the surgery, and, you know, everything was going okay, and he was on the mend. And then next thing we get a call that he'd, you know, died that weekend, and it was just, it's unbelievable. It's this one's a little hard to get over. I mean, we've had plenty of our friends pass on, but this one's been really hard, man.
Yeah. We were also looking through these photos earlier, and how many photos you're in?
Yeah.
Well, you're 12.
Yeah. And when I look at them, I just, you know, I start tearing up, man, because the guy raised me, and he was such a generous guy, and, you know, he was, his whole life, he did things for people.
Right.
You know, you know, Roland, he always did things for everybody, and, you know.
Like I say, when I first came over here, and, you know, us Hawaiians, we talk kind of funny at times, right? Okay.
Still do.
Well, at least you understand me now.
Yeah.
We can all slip into pidgin every once in a while.
Yeah,
you know?
we got used to it.
Yeah, after 40, 50 years, right? You know? So what they would do, put on a McEwen, anytime we'd be out at a conversation, and they say, "Hey, you stand aside, we'll handle it. We'll do all the talking," right? And tell you the truth, they actually gave me an inferiority complex because of it. But I never let them know that, though, you know.
Well, McEwen was a good talker in front of people, and you know, he the guy could promote putting together the Hot Wheels deal, and had that vision of the snake and the mongoose and that rivalry that just changed the sport as far as sponsors and how people go about that corporate sponsorship. Now look at it; it's all corporate sponsorship,
and almost no personality.
Yeah,
you know, that's the big difference. Is that, I mean, everybody worked on their own cars back then, and
you got to be politically correct now.
Yeah, it's a. Hey, Roland, was there, like when you were racing Snake or Mongoose, was either one of them? Did you get up for that, or was it always, as they say today, man, we're just here racing the track? Did it make any difference who was in the other lane?
For me, no. Okay. I always said. We're racing the track, like you said, right? Okay, you know. But he didn't like to lose. I mean, he wasn't going to lose come hell or high water, right? Okay.
Yeah.
And that's how focused he was, right? Okay. You know. Even match racing, where it didn't really matter who won or lost. You know what I mean? Right. But
he went after it like it was a national event at every match race.
Yeah. And even today. You know, I guarantee you, if Cottrell was still racing, he'd be the same. You know, he might go after it a little different way, but that's how competitive a guy is. He is, you know.
Well, he's out there doing the Baja 1000.
I'm telling you, at that age, right?
At that age, and I'm sure there's people think, "Oh, that's going to be fun," and then you know, it ain't no fun with him because I'm sure he's back in his.
That was the hardest thing he ever done.
Yeah, I heard he said his body was pretty beat up after that. Man, yeah. But he stuck with it and then did it, you know.
And he finished.
And that's the snake. He's not going to give up.
I guess so.
Not going to give up, man.
Yeah.
That guy's just, you know, a living legend. They both were. But you know.
Well, that's like even now, you know. But he tells me, he says, well, why do you want to keep doing this? You know, getting all stressed out. He says, one of these days I'm going to hear you had a heart attack and died on the starting line. And it's like I told him, I said, well, nobody stresses me out more than myself, right? You know, because I guess I want to do good. And And believe it or not, Donnie, Darr, I still like doing it. I guess I like the challenge. I like the challenge, of beating everybody. But in the Nostalgia series, it's kind of hard because a lot of the guys, they don't have the funding, to really do it. There's very few that have the funding to really do it. And I guess I never had that, so it's hard for me to accept. You know what I mean? And I don't know if I want to. I don't know if I want that challenge, not having the funding, right?
Yeah.
It's hard enough making them run.
Yeah, that's a big challenge with no funding, right?
But Roland, you are available if a funny car owner or a Top Fuel owner wants to hire you as a crew chief. You are available, right?
Oh yeah. Under the right circumstances,
right.
Right? Okay. But like I say, they got to have the desire, and it's like Padone says, all these guys you're dealing with in the Nostalgia, remember one thing, okay, it's their hobby, right? Well, it wasn't Padone's hobby, it wasn't McEwen's hobby, and neither was it, a lot of us guys, it wasn't our hobby in the early days. I mean, we had to make a living doing it, or try to, right? Okay, and thankfully we were successful doing it. Although, we had families and responsibilities and all that, and well, I guess we found a way, right? And it's like Padone says, is that I guess how he sums it up is that we had the passion. We had the passion,
Yeah, the passion to keep it going.
Succeed, right?
That's like with McEwen, man. He had the passion of doing it and trying to beat Padone and be a champion. And, he won a lot of races. They say he was kind of overshadowed by all the Snakes wins, but McEwen had some good wins,
Well, yeah, but let me tell you something, though. Just to keep them rigs on the road, okay, like we did way back with them, wasn't easy.
Yeah.
Okay? And I know that, because there wasn't any big sponsors to be had,
Yeah.
Right.
Well, back then, when I was working with McEwen, my first year on tour, we stayed in Detroit at a little just average hotel, and we worked on the car at the Ram Charger shop or out in the hotel parking lot.
Yep. Yep. I did that.
Yeah.
We all did it.
We all did it, right?
And washed parts in the bathtub.
4 or 5 guys in the same room. I can go on and on and on, but that's the way it was. It's not like today where they have the funding and everybody, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And chefs and,
Yeah. Right.
We're rolling. I just think about all the people that went through your pit area, went through Snake's pit area, and the Mongooses. I got to work with Tom Prock, Alan Gillis. A lot of people that are still around today, and there's a lot of memories we all share when we're at the track, and it's fun because
and to me, Donnie, a lot of these young guys, they don't realize what some of the guys really because they never ever really advertised, really brought help in their ways.
There was
little way,
I think two of us for the most part when we were running the Hot Wheels deals, Bob Kearns and myself, and then he ran the dragster and had Alan Gillis and Jerry Bivens. I mean, there was a host of people, but not that many guys. Of course, back then, we're rolling the car on the ramp and just checking the bearings. We weren't pulling it apart all the time. And
yeah, but we had to drive from Saturday night to Sunday.
The worst part, Roland, that I remember of racing with McEwen was, we were young kids and we're driving that rig all around the country and having a great time.
Right.
And doing what we wanted to do. And then when McEwen came and you come to the race and you go, oh, I'm going to stay here and ride with you guys to Cincinnati instead of flying home. What? No way. That ruined our whole trip. What do you mean? Because McEwen got there and you only listened to his music, which was Conway Twitty, Tom T. Hall, Merle Haggard. And I go...
Yeah, but see, Donnie, that's what Mike Dunn said about me when he worked for me. See?
Yeah.
Right? He had to listen to Don Ho, right? So
Tiny bubbles.
Right.
But, little stuff like that and stories like that are classics. And like you say, some of these kids that are working on these cars now out there, they don't know, what we went through, racing 2 or 3 times a week, maybe 4 times, and working on the truck at the hotel room. And, we did it when it was fun. And like Pat Galvin and I say, we got to race with our heroes.
Well, those days are gone, and they'll never be back, right? Okay?
Yeah.
I just, hopefully, this whole drag racing deal, keeps going, hopefully going forward instead of,
Yeah. It seems like it's at a standstill right now.
Right. Right. So who knows what the future holds, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, who knows? That's one thing. That's all we got is today,
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, Roland, thank you very much for calling in. You're a good friend, and, this is a tough time.
Yeah. Anyway, I'll be there at McEwen's deal, so I'll probably see you guys over there.
Yeah, we'll see you there, Roland. Again, we appreciate you calling into the show.
Problem. No problem. My pleasure.
Okay, buddy. Take care.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Well, how's that, man?
That's all right.
A legend there,
Yeah.
And always taking time for us. And, like I said, he's right up there with McEwen, Prudhomme. They hung out, Him, Roland, and Prudhomme still hang out and do a lot of things together.
That was funny going through it earlier with you, of like, hey, there I am. I said, dude, you look like you're 12. He says, I was.
Had my long hair and,
Yes.
on the road. I got to go all summer when I got out of school. If I got good grades, I got to be on the road with McEwen all summer.
Jeez.
And I had to come back after the U.S. Nationals every year.
Oh, that's awesome.
But, we used to work on the car at his house in the garage in a regular neighborhood. He still lives there.
Man.
The dragster was in the backyard, and the funny car was in the front yard in the garage, and had all these employees running around, and the neighbors are going like, "What's going on over there?"
But that was like the first drag race that I ever really paid attention to was like the Hot Rod Magazine Drags in '64, which I think McEwen won, and we're in the KFWB mobile unit in a big Pontiac white wagon, and we're pulling up on this, and my dad just says, screw it, we're pulling right up, parked right next to the starting line, and Jack Williams and McEwen pushing down from the turn at Riverside, and I was like, holy shit, look at this. Oh man. And I'd been to Riverside and seen Formula One and a couple of times, and I'd seen NASCAR, and I was like, drag racing, man, this is it. Yeah. And then we stayed at the Holiday Inn in Riverside. Right there in the room next to us was Jack Williams, and they're there pulling the motor out and checking the bearings and washing parts in the shower in the hotel.
I remember, and it
Jack Williams. You didn't leave your car at the track.
Jack Williams and McEwen were really tight friends, and of course Jack ran the Auto Club Famosa track now. Yeah. And he had friends like Merle Haggard that lived by him, and he'd bring him to the races. And who's that? Merle Haggard. Well, who is that? We didn't know. We were rock and roll kids, But that was a tight-knit group with, Williams and Bainey and McEwen and Prudhomme. And, a lot of memories there, Like I said, we got to grow up and be around our heroes.
Yeah, it's funny that one shot of the last drag race of McEwen and Prudhomme, and you're standing right there, and I look up at the grandstand and I go, I can't find my face, but I know I'm there because I saw that run.
Wow.
It's very
the last drag race, man. That
well,
was
look
something.
We got some people on the phone that we need to speak to, and one of them is Bucky Austin. The other one is Bobby Cottrell. They're sort of an item these days.
How did you get Bucky to call in? He doesn't do interviews.
Well, you know how it goes. Bucky, you there?
I'm here, guys. How you doing?
Good, Bucky. What's going on up there in the Northwest?
Well, summer really hasn't started yet. It'll be nice one day and rain the next. So we're keeping our fingers crossed for the next 2 races, the one in Spokane and on July 4th, and the one Friday and Saturday night at Seattle on the 6th and 7th.
Yeah, your home tracks, basically, right, Bucky? You don't have to go too far, and then you have all your family and friends up there. You're going to have a big crowd.
Well, hopefully we do, and the lineup of cars for Seattle and Spokane is, I think we have 14 or 15 entered for Spokane, for an 8-car show, and I think we have 17 entered for an 8-car show at Seattle. So
yeah, 17.
So far, so good.
Yeah, not bad at all. It should be 2 amazing races, and one of the things that that the UNFC has provided is better purses, maybe a little bit. More frequent competition, but also with good vibrations coming in to support the points fund. Now, you run it, you can at least afford to buy crew jackets for everybody.
Correct. I mean, without good vibrations, we probably couldn't have put this deal together, and they've been a strong supporter all along of the nostalgia classes, and we couldn't do it without them, and it always takes one big sponsor, and we're working on a couple other ones, but for right now, the Good Vibration Series is alive and well. We had 10 cars at Tucson, and the crowd was so-so. We were a little bit disappointed. Had some good race cars there, though, and but Spokane and Seattle seems to be turning out to be 2 giant events, and the competitors can actually race 2 races and actually spend Sunday traveling home. So, if you're just a fan, you should get out there to either one of those races, because all the quality cars from the West Coast and Canada will be there.
Well, too, one of the things that Weld Wheels stepped up and put up their perfect light bonus. So the first driver to cart a 000 light without fouling gets a set of 16 by 16 Weld wheels.
Well, those are the things that we really need for our class, because in the Heritage Series there is no really any contingency. So every little bit helps, and of course that's quite a lot to give a set of brand new beadlocks away. But we've been working on a few other things. Donor has, and Darr, and everybody in the group. So things are moving ahead. They're not going backwards, and hopefully, if it continues like this, next year we'll be able to pay more, and we're actually paying non-qualifiers because actually, it's the racers that are putting on the show. They're making the money for everybody, so we're trying to share the pot with the racer, which is kind of a little incentive for the racer, and then that really hasn't happened too much in the 50 or 60 or 70 years of drag racing. Usually the promoter tries to he'll pay something, but usually anymore the price of the cars and just the price of getting there, and the motel rooms and the flights and the Nitro. I mean, things aren't cheap, so we're trying to share the pot and have a good drag race also.
Do you have a schedule yet for Spokane and for Seattle?
Yes, at Spokane it'll be running one day and one night. We'll have 2 qualifiers, 12 and 3, and eliminations start at 6. And by second round, everything should be under the lights. And plus, we're having jets, and we're having a fireworks show, and we're having Joe Walla, the race and rock and roller, there, and we're trying to make it a family event all in one day on 4th of July. So there's a lot of stuff going on there that be fan based. It'll be entertainment, and it'd be a good chance for the nostalgia field cars to run.
And some good professional track prep, and as well as tech. And are you bringing in Ken Gentry to run tech?
Yes, we started this year bringing in Ken Gentry, and he started at Tucson. It's under Ken Gentry's discretion. He weighs the cars. At Tucson, he took runner-ups and the winners' pumps and sent them to Crawford, and he'll probably do so at Spokane and Seattle. So, to give our series legitimacy, we made a decision at the end of last year to have Ken come aboard, and it's the same rules as the Heritage class, but you have to draw a line in the sand someplace, and we're using heritage rules, and we're sticking by them, and we're weighing the cars, and we're checking fuel pumps, and we're looking for hidden things, and so it's as good for the last qualifier as it is good for the number one qualifier. I mean, the rules pertain to all of us, and I think that really makes for better racing. If you just throw a free-for-all out there, I mean, that's not going to work.
Yeah, a lot of finger pointing going on.
And then down the road, you've got Edmonton coming up, for a UNFC race. You also have Mission. So if all of a sudden you're running a different tune-up or some completely different pump or something that doesn't fit one of the heritage rules, you end up sort of wasting an event by switching over and then switching back to heritage rules.
Correct, and we're trying to get the track prep as best as possible. So we hired Jim Black from who does the track prep for Bakersfield, and he'll be on the grounds at Spokane on Monday, and he'll take 2 days to prep it, and then he'll go Thursday morning to Seattle, and he'll have Thursday and Friday afternoon to prep it. So it's not. The race is. We're trying to run it as good as Bakersfield runs their races. I mean, everybody's got to admit that Bakersfield they do an excellent job there. Their track prep is outstanding, and they really try to service the racer, and that's what we're trying to do. But we're trying to give the racer more options with our series. But so far, things are so good, so I can't complain.
Hey, Bucky, I heard the NHRA track prep guys are available now, too, because they're not doing any track prep at the big show races.
I talked to a few guys at the big show. When they first started doing it, nobody had a real clue. They didn't go over and tell the crew, say, hey, this is what we're doing, and that's typical NHRA. I mean, they'll make changes and won't tell you, but
pretty obvious on that one.
They're running those the big show cars so hard, especially the funny cars, that it's probably good that they did something. But it'd be nice to let the racer know before you do it.
Make some adjustments for that, right?
Exactly.
Well, I think we also have your driver on the phone.
Well, he's a good driver.
Bobby?
I was fortunate enough to get him. He's been doing a great job for us, and I can't complain about that at all. That's the least of our problems.
Bobby, are you there? Are you on the line?
I'm here. I'm just listening to my boss talk. I learned not to cut him off.
Hey, Bobby. We all know it's not a secret to Bucky no more that you crashed your car at Fontana.
Yeah, we scraped it up a little bit.
How was that phone call to Bucky?
I didn't call him. You think I'm crazy? I texted
him. You did? Well, I know he was probably pretty worried about you because you guys got a good team together with that Austin and O'Brien car and good crew and a great driver. And, of course, Bucky's doing a great job of tuning it. So you can't you got to have all them pieces of the puzzle intact all the time. So
yeah, that was a as far as the wreck and stuff, that was kind of nice to. The first thing that he texted me was, first of all, are you okay? That was kind of nice to have him, obviously care about me first and foremost. But we joked around after, and all is good. As you know, in drag racing, stuff happens. So we just got to kind of look forward and move forward, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, at least you're okay, and I know the car's pretty much totaled, you said, but hey, you got the baddest hot rod in the country to drive still with Bucky's car.
Yeah, I'm gonna put obviously I'm gonna put everything I can into that. That's the one thing about our team. That's the one thing we do have is the drive, and we want to win. That's that comes first. But I'm excited to get back in the car. I don't know why it seems like forever since I've been in the car. So I can't wait to be back in the car and be around my crew and just have a lot of fun,
Well, you guys have assembled one of the best crews out there, so I can understand why you'd want to be hanging with them all the time.
Yeah, Buckaroo's the main man. He's the one that kind of assembled everybody, obviously. I'm just kind of the I'm the low man on the totem pole,
The
buddy.
monkey.
I just hit the gas pedal as hard as I can and try to cut a light,
Hey, well, work on that light, will you? Because right now Jason Rupert's leading the Weld Wheels UNFC Perfect Light with a 080. So somebody's going to, there's still plenty of UNFC racing left to really work and hone your starting line prowess.
Yeah. I'm just going to go out there and do what we've been doing. Between Bucky and Pat, they've kind of coached me on what to do and stuff. I don't want to, the biggest thing is not to think about it so much. And as long as the wind light comes on at the end of the track, then I'm good. I don't care. I don't really care what goes on. You know what I'm saying?
Cool. Well, we will see you next week. And Bobby, I'll see you tomorrow. Bucky, thank you very much for calling in.
Well, I appreciate it, and I appreciate you guys having a show like this. It gives some of us smaller guys a chance to BS a little bit. And Donnie, are you coming up north next week?
Well, no, I'm a little financially embarrassed, so I'm going to stay home.
Well, Darr's coming, aren't you, Darr?
I am coming, yeah.
Well,
right.
I guess I could go on Darr's jet, but he hasn't invited me.
Oh.
I see.
I'll give you a call tomorrow, Bucky, and work out some details, all right?
All right, and I appreciate you guys having Bobby and I, and hope to see everybody at the next two races, and then on to Edmonton and Mission, and you guys have fun, okay?
All right.
Okay, go kick some ass, Bucky.
We'll see you in a couple of days, Buck.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Then that's July 4th at Spokane County Raceway for a big fireworks and funny car and Nitro spectacular and jet cars and wheel standers and all kinds of stuff. Then 2 days later at Pacific Raceways in Seattle, July 6 and 7 for the UNFC Championship presented by Good Vibrations Motorsports.
I've raced up in Spokane forever, Darr, and it's just an old school track. It really fits the nostalgia scene up there.
It's perfect, yeah.
And they got those big cups that are like 2 feet tall. They sell a beer. And a lot of Canadians come down there and try to drink all the beer up. And they have a lot of fun over there. A lot of fun. Craig Smith doing a great job up there.
Well, it should be a really great week for drag racing. I know I have a lot of my buddies who are photographers up there saying, "Hey, man, can you get me photographer's passes?" I said, "Not my job, man."
Not my job.
Hey, well, who we got now is Mendy Fry, winner at Bowling Green.
Commercial break.
Well, we should probably got to take a commercial, but Mendy's been waiting on the phone. So
She has?
Yeah,
we can't
has.
keep Mendy waiting.
No.
Right?
Mendy, you there?
What up, playa?
What's up, badass?
Right?
Jeez.
Not much, just sitting here at work counting beans. Much rather be talking to you guys.
Yeah, well, you won Bowling Green Top Fuel, and I know that was a tough, hot, and humid track back there, but you guys came through like you have been.
Ugh, it was sweaty underwear. It was awful. Yeah, but yeah, losing sucks. Winning does not suck.
No.
It makes it all worth it. When it was 100 degrees on Saturday and like 95% humidity, I mean, it just all doesn't matter when the wind light comes on.
Yeah, well, you did that on Father's Day. You think the big guy was looking down in the sky and giving you some encouragement?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
I do. I know that.
Yeah.
Well, you guys are doing good and got a great team, Indy, and you've had some good rides in that car.
Oh, my God. I got to tell you, I mean, you know that the High Speed Motorsports team, they've won that race now 8 times out of 10 times that they've gone.
Wow, I didn't know that.
And with, I think, 4, maybe 5 different drivers, at least 4 different drivers. And I mean, Tom Sheelar has given me a bracket car, and he owns that track. Like, he really knows how to read it. It's 150 degrees plus, and seriously, like, the driver didn't win the race that weekend. I mean, the car did. I was struggling a little bit on the tree all weekend. But,
yeah, well, like I say, Tom's making some good power, knows how to read the track and adapt to the weather conditions that are changing every minute. So,
But that was quite a final with you and Jimmy.
It was, wasn't it? Like, I've watched it a few times. There's a clip of it on Drag Strip Rumble, and God, like, he had me, man. Like, I mean, I just reel it out from him.
He just makes that little right turn down there, that little swerve, and that cost him the race.
I
But
mean,
yeah,
we
we're
had him
running that
covered
video
by a
now.
10th, and we needed every bit of it, you know?
Yeah.
Jimmy's a hell of a driver too. It's great. It's great for
He
the class.
really is.
You're getting so many different winners now. I mean, this is only the second race of the year for Top Fuel, but you've got more. It seems that there is more participation in Top Fuel than there has been for a while, and even people like Brandon Murray are doing well. And it's great to see that that you've got that the class has come together so well.
Yeah, we got a real good group of guys. Hopefully there's more coming, right? But there's a lot of participation from people that are Midwest and Chicago, Canada, right? So we've got full fields everywhere. Hopefully someday we'll have enough to fill a 16-car show again. But and yeah, it was really great to see Brendan. I mean, he kicked ass that weekend,
He's been around a long time and been to all the races, and I can't say he struggled, but he's just not a front runner car, but he's doing good now.
Yeah, they did really well. They took out Adam in the first round.
Ooh, that must have hurt.
He hasn't returned any of my phone calls since the event.
Well, he's on suicide watch, Darr.
Yeah. Well, I mean, losing first round. Oof.
Yeah.
Losing's awful. Losing first round, especially it's a long toe to go.
Yeah, that's a big one. How about that track, though? Isn't it great to go?
It's so great. I mean, it's got such history, and those stands. The Nitro does pool underneath the covered stands, though.
Yeah. That's why all the spectators.
But yeah, and especially the way you enter the track and all the show and shine cars, and the tranquil drive up with the rolling green hills and the horses. And
Mendy, what's the next race for that team?
Next race is Boise, Idaho, the Night Fire Nationals in August.
Nice.
Well, and if you people out there watching have not had a chance, go to Find Drag Strip Rumble on YouTube. There's a great video from the March meet. There's also a very nice video that we just ran here that Cole sent me last night. And there's some really good footage. They're really doing a great job of promoting Top Fuel class, and great to see that as I said earlier, so many cars have come out of the woodwork that it's great to see at least 8-car fields where nobody's getting a buy.
That's great.
Yeah, exactly.
It's great too that we got Drag Strip Rumble covering all the Top Fuel class, because we know, Darr, you only cover funny cars.
Can't get Darr to go.
I was
dropping cylinders.
Ronnie Swearingen was going to go back there and just couldn't get enough crew, and I was going to ride back with him on a road trip. So it would have been nice. Maybe next year.
Well, you missed a good race, but I'm telling you didn't miss the weather.
Yeah, I would much rather be down close to the beach, down along beach. Thank you very much.
Yeah. We know
with all my friends.
We know you'd like to be down there a lot, Darr. We've heard your stories.
Well, Mendy, get back to work, please.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, and I just want to take the opportunity to thank my team one more time, because this one. They really did it. They got it done.
Yeah, you got a great team, so.
I sure do.
You sure know how to take care of that, giving them some kudos. Right?
Thanks a lot for calling in, Mendy.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Mendy.
Bye.
We love you.
Love you guys, too. Bye.
Okay. That Tom Sheelar car, man, that thing's badass.
Every time I talk to Tom, it's like, well, I think maybe we figured something out. It's like, figure something out. You were in the final at the March meet. It's like, come on.
Yeah. He's very cool, calm, and collected.
He is, but he's always playing with those CNC machines to come up with that just thousandth of an inch tolerance that that he needs. And he's also got Daryl Reed with him, who's building some awesome rockers, that are making that engine live. So it's wonderful to see that so many cars have come together. Well, Bruce, let's take a commercial break.
All right.
And we'll come back on the other side of it with I think the guy by the name of Drew Austin.
I've heard of him.
He has a new license.
For what?
To party with John Force.
No, that's Austin Prock.
Oh, that's Austin Prock?
Yeah.
Oh, man, I reversed the names here.
Yeah, there you go.
It's Drew Austin.
Yeah, remember him?
How come Drew Austin didn't call him? He's late, man. Oh, there's the phone. Let's Let's get a commercial in here.
He heard us.
Aeromotive Fuel Systems. On the street, in the water, or at the track, if you can drive it, we can fuel it. Good Vibrations Motorsports specializes in the parts you need for gas, alcohol, and nitro engines. If you're muscling a funny car or top fueler down the quarter mile, cutting a rooster tail across the lake, or cruising the boulevard, Good Vibrations has the blower and fuel system solutions for your personal ride and race car. If you want to go fast, really fast, then Good Vibrations Motorsports is ready to hear from you at goodvibesracing.com. Stith Printing is your leader in corporate and individual identity marketing, with over 3 decades of delivering the best quality garments for your budget and promotions. At Stith Printing, we offer in-house design, providing strong graphic solutions for any project with fabric screen printing or high-density embroidery. Stith's diverse background and attention to detail gets the job done on time and on budget, then ships the job to your door. Whether you field an international racing team, a statewide construction company, a local softball team in a church league, or the convenience store down the street, Stith Printing has the crew to deliver your next printing and branding project.
There's only one 4th of July event you can't afford to miss, and it's the Nitro Fireworks Spectacular, Spokane County Raceway. Wednesday, the 4th of July, United Nitro Funny Cars and Good Vibration Motorsports present the fastest heritage funny cars on the face of the earth, along with the fire-snorting jets running side by side. Wheel standards like the Little Red Fire Truck and the famed Hemi Underglass. Rock music, the largest fireworks show in Spokane County Raceway history. That's right, the 4th of July, Spokane County Raceway. Bring the whole family because kids 12 and under are free.
Well, look who we have on the phone now.
Well,
I guess I fluffed it and made it right.
Yeah, you did make it right.
We got Austin Prock on the phone.
Yeah, and for people out there, our audience that don't know him, he's a John Force development driver, and Monday got his driver's license in Courtney Force's funny car.
Ooh.
So 22-year-old guy, he's got the world by the you-know-what. Austin, what's happening, buddy?
Oh, not much. Just hanging out with the friends tonight, and figured I'd give a call in.
Yeah, well, we're awful proud of you. I know you finally got your license and made how many runs you make? 2 runs or something?
Yeah, we made 2. I made 3 in Vegas back about 3 months ago, and we got to finish it up here yesterday in Norwalk, Ohio, and it went great. First lap out went 4:02. They got remote shutoffs now. They shut me off about 800 feet, and they only went 280. But it was still a great pass. Would have qualified us for the show.
Well, for our fans out there, I mean, you'd driven a midgets before quite a bit with your brother, and you've been coming up through Frank Hawley's school, driving the Super Comp Dragster, and then they've got like a nostalgia funny car there that you ran.
Yeah. I really don't have much seat time down the drag strip, but I felt really comfortable in the thing, and I think all the circle track racing I did under Tony Stewart's wing really helped me out.
Yeah, well, you're pretty fortunate to work out of that shop. But how after you get done and it's all said and done, you're back at the trailer. What does John Force come up to you and say?
Oh, he was real proud. He was happy we got it done, and now I'm on call. If anything happens or we need to throw someone in, it's going to be me now. So that's pretty exciting.
Well, that's nice.
You're always keeping your helmet and your fire suit in the back of the truck. In the trunk?
He wears
right,
it while he's working on Brittany's dragster. Aren't you? Right? Aren't you stripping the blowers over there?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so you're the only blower guy that wears a full fire suit and a helmet between rounds.
Yeah.
It's going to be like tag team, Hit me.
Yeah,
hit me.
exactly.
Put me
you guys
in.
should come by the pit and check it out. It's quite the scene.
Hey, we will, man. It's that's a big day, and I know that your grandpa, Tom Prock, he's probably pretty proud of you, and your dad,
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I got my grandpa and Al Sagrini, my dad, mom, brother. They were all out there, and they got to see it all happen right in front of them. So that was pretty cool. It was a huge moment for our family, and I can't wait to move forward with it.
Who signed your license?
I had John Force, Robert Height, and we had Bill Bader Jr., who runs the track in Norwalk. They all signed it, and I actually shipped it out this morning to California to get it finished up.
Do that right away, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we need it. We need it just in case,
Hey, so what did your dad say when the deal was over?
He was proud of me. He didn't say much.
He's a quiet guy,
Yeah, he was testing his own race car that Monday, so he was busy with his own stuff. He figured out some stuff for his own race car, and it ended up being a great day. He got a handle on his race car, and I got my license, so it ended up being a good day for the Prock family.
Yeah, that's great, man. We're so proud of you, buddy, because you're a good kid and the future of the sport.
Well, now we got to get you. We got to get you out to the California Hot Rod Reunion and push John and Robert around. They're always walking around in their colors and just sort of watching funny car. But John Force Racing needs a Nitro funny car in the Heritage Series.
Well, he's cackled a Nitro funny car. In fact, the car that his dad drove, or his grandpa, the custom body Enterprise car. And that's a beautiful car, huh, Austin?
Yeah, oh yeah, that car's awesome. Ronnie Swearinger, he's tried to get me to come drive his nostalgia funny car and out there, and I'd love to do it. I've been busy working on the cars at John Force Racing, but maybe this year we can get out there.
Well, do it. John only has about 5 cars there that could easily be adapted with a proper hoop. Like the Truckmasters car. The Truckmasters Vega would be bitching to have out there.
Yeah, there's plenty of stuff in the shop where we could throw one together. He's got all his old nostalgia bodies in there, and it'd be cool to put one together. But maybe this year we can get John and Robert out there again, and me driving one.
Well, Robert has always said, John contractually won't let me drive a nostalgia car. And I said, wait a minute, you got a new driver. Do you have a contract or anything yet for driving?
Yeah, no, I don't have anything yet.
Oh, there you go.
There's a stipulation in your contract,
I'm
dude.
sure my old man could talk him into something.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Yeah. If you don't let my kid drive a nostalgia car, I'm walking. You'd be in a car the next day.
Well, congratulations, Austin. It's awesome to see you growing into this position. It's driving a 4-second funny car is quite a feat, and doing it as short a time as you have. But as you said, there's a lot of guys who have done well moving off of dirt that that got right into a funny car and were very successful with their operation.
Yeah, I'm having a blast, and I can't wait. I can't wait for the future. I can't wait to stage up against someone and drag it out. I can't wait for that first pedal fest where I can really use my finesse.
Be careful what you wish for, buddy. Right?
I've always said I'm crazy.
Yeah, well, you didn't have to tell us that. I've been around you enough.
Well, with you being around Force, that's not going to help your sanity.
Hey, that's why we're the perfect fit.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Well, thanks a lot for calling in. Great to see your success, and we'll be watching you. We'll get you on when you get your first event.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me call in, and I'll talk to you guys soon.
Okay, tell the family hello, and good luck to you.
All right, right on. Have a good night.
All right, thank you, Austin. Great kid, man. He's going to be, he's going to be the future of the sport. And can you imagine being 22 years old and you're in, a John Force funny car?
No. I mean, plus, the numbers that he ran there, like 401s, that would have qualified him, in the field.
Yeah.
Not on the bump spot.
Yeah. Well, what's good about him, he's working on the cars, doing the superchargers. And the guys he worked with, John's crew and that whole group, they're all behind it, man. They're supporting them, and they all get along. They're all young guys. They're all having fun, and Austin gets to jump into that seat.
It's not bad at all.
Yeah.
And being the backup driver for anybody is, but basically he's backup driver for 4 drivers for 4 different cars.
Right.
It's not bad. Not a bad gig. I'm not saying taking odds or anything like that, but that's pretty amazing job to have at 22 years old.
Well, of course, too, Robert Height's like what? 69 years old or something.
He's close to 70.
About ready to retire.
And he's older than John, isn't he?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I thought so.
Yeah. Real funny.
Well, look at who we got. Look at who we got.
Get in trouble, man.
Yeah, well, I'm sure everybody's sitting back there in Indy watching this, and John is in Yorba Linda.
He's taking notes, so.
Well, we got James Maher from CIFCA on the phone, and also from Good Vibrations Motorsports. And
hey.
James, how the hell are you, man?
I'm doing all right. How you guys doing?
Good. How was you were up in
Samoa?
In Samoa?
Yeah, way up north in Samoa, man. The weather was perfect.
Hell, I thought it was the Philippines.
You didn't have to wear some weird dress with this, right?
No, we didn't. Got off the hook, man.
Yeah, I talked to your father. You guys had an exciting plane flight coming into the airport, huh?
Yeah, we had to do a couple circles around trying to find a little spot to kind of sneak on in there.
Yeah, he said it was clear the whole trip, and right till you got to the airport, then it was fogged in.
Yeah, I guess they call it the Lost Coast for a reason.
See any dinosaurs up there while you were?
No, not there, not this time.
Well, how you liking it so far? You seem to be doing well. You won an event, and you're running at places like Sacramento and Samoa, and it's CIFCA seems to have taken off.
Yeah, it's been good. I mean, we've had 3 events and 3 different winners so far, so it's been pretty tight, pretty close racing. This weekend, man, it was crazy up there, a little challenging for all of us getting down the track. The track never really kind of had cars, blown cars going in the 7, so track prep was interesting to say the least. They're learning, and we were learning, so got some cool pedal fest, put on a killer show for the guys up there, and we hope to be back next year.
I heard you had an outrageous crowd up there.
Yeah, it's, I guess, one of the biggest crowds they've had since the 60s, from what I understand. So.
Well, what I heard was it's the first time they've had funny cars at in Humboldt County in 100 years.
Sounds about right. Thanks to Lithia Dodge Eureka. They sponsored the show for us and brought us in. They put on a sweet car show Friday night, and then we all went out to eat Friday with everybody, and Saturday went out there and made a couple passes, put on a good show, and packed the stand. So.
Man, it sounds like a great show and a good time.
And Mike Morrell was up there with Mike and Chris were up there running their CUDA.
Yeah, they made a couple 8th mile hits, and then their last pass they just did a 1,000-foot burnout.
Oh,
so
man.
I just laid it out there.
People had to have enjoyed that. Jeez.
Yeah, it was pretty sweet. A lot of pedaling, a lot of crossing over in lanes, taking out a few cones. Got a first cone of my own, so having fun though.
Well,
yeah.
who won at Samoa?
Mike Troxel.
Okay.
He left it quarter throttle and ran a 750 with the 3s, or 750 with the 6. So I was like, man, I don't know how you do it.
Man, doesn't matter how you do it as long as you get it done. Get to the finish line first, right?
That's it. Yep. And Tony Trimpin, he was doing pretty well, qualified number 1, but that last pass got a little out of the group, got within inches of the guardrail, but did not touch it. So safe call there.
James, what's the next race for the CIFCA group?
Next race for the CIFCA group is going to be August 18th in Reading.
Reading, okay.
First time for us. It's going to be a 1-1, I'm assuming. But it should be a good show. We're going to meet the North Cal Nostalgia guys there, so overall should be pretty cool.
Yeah. That's great. Well, great to see you maturing as a funny car driver. I watched one of your videos of when you got out of the groove a little bit just past the Christmas tree, and looks like you reeled it back in pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I knew as soon as I got back in it what I had done wrong. But adrenaline pumping, it's not easy to get back in it softly when you're racing somebody, so...
Well, especially you got your dad standing behind the car watching any mistakes. He's got a lot of laps in those cars.
Pretty good teacher.
Yeah, great teacher. Yeah. Great teacher.
Well, thanks for calling in, James, and we're going to keep in touch with you all year, and when it comes down to the final too. So we love having you on, and love stealing photos off of your CIFCA Facebook page.
Yeah, we love those CIFCA funny cars, man.
Cool. Well, thanks for having me. Hopefully you guys have a good rest of the show. We'll keep tuning in.
Okay. And don't forget, Good Vibrations Motorsports, dragparts.com. You can get a catalog like this and have all the pictures and parts. And you got a great tech line there at Good Vibrations. They'll take care of all your needs.
And James will sign autographs, too, if you show up at the right time. If you show up in the morning.
Charge me $20.
Again?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
To sign the shirt. It was 10 just for a picture.
Thanks for calling in, James.
All right, right on, guys.
All right,
bye.
All right, we got a bunch of stuff to give away.
Uh-oh.
I mean, and I think Donnie's already got his eyeballs on one of them, but there's...
I got my eyeballs on one of those Philippe's beef dip sandwiches.
And by the way, that's where we'll be going tonight instead of the old favorite Pinocchios. So we'll be at Philippe's, and come on by and say hi.
Come on by. Maybe
Dan
you get a prize.
Dan Horan, come on by, man. You're right around the corner. The winner of Bowling Green Funny Car.
Oh, he's selling all his stuff.
That's right. So. He's going Top Fuel Racing. I forgot. But our old buddy, Big Ben. Over at DJ Safety and Deist gave us some T-shirts to hand out. Yeah. And a pretty cool one that he's got here. The new DJ Safety one.
Oh, that is pretty sweet.
That's nice.
That is cool.
And
I
then
would wear that.
There is, I might have one of your size. So, but assuming you win the contest, right?
Oh, yeah.
I hope Kevin Stiff made those shirts.
I actually don't know.
Yeah.
And this... a men's large,
a crew
DJ
shirt.
Safety crew shirt, autographed by Big Ben.
Ooh,
wow!
There you go.
So there's a bunch of swag that we are ready to get rid of. So you'd send an email to info@nitroreports.com or go to our Facebook page and send us a text message of your name and address, and we'll throw your name into the hopper. But also, I found a crate of stuff this week.
Can't they get some of this stuff if they show up at Philippe's tonight?
Hell yeah, I'll put it in the truck. Right? You show up, I'll load you up with stuff. Things like the media kit for Army, for the old Army bikes with Angel Savoy. I don't know what her name was back then. And Tony Schumacher early in his career. Press kit. Programs for the Mile High Nationals 2004.
Ooh.
Look at that.
Look at this, huh? Skull. Come on. You can't get much cooler than this. With Tommy Johnson Jr. and a guy by the name of, up-and-coming guy by the name of Ron Capps.
Yeah, I've heard of him.
But there's press kits for him. Then we also got them for Del Worsham.
Wow.
We got fan guides for 2000. We got another Del Worsham one. We got more fan guides. We got some Larry Dixon ones.
Wow. Isn't he banned from NHRA?
No, he ran this last week. In fact, I meant to get him on. We'll get him on the next show.
Yeah, let's talk
to
him
ran,
about that.
I think he was only running to 600 feet, but
We need to get you in the back of the car.
Okay, I'll shoot it, all right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you've got your license and you've got your media credentials, so...
I've done my, I've won the Media World Challenge.
That's right. So,
tired.
Powerade Drag Racing Series Media Kit 2002. I got a couple of those.
Damn.
Pontiac. Powerade. So send in if you'd like any of this stuff. And also... get your Good Vibrations catalog by going to goodvibesracing.com. And you can also get the new Aeromotive tanks that are going to be available within the next couple of months. Bruce has got a flyer there on the new Gen 2 of Aeromotive OEM replacement tanks for muscle cars, hot rods, 32, 33, 34 Ford, Tri-5 Chevy. This is the new setup.
Isn't Gen 2 like copyrighted by Ron at Victory Race Cars? Gen 2
Maybe
chassis.
it is for chassis, but these are not chassis.
Okay.
No,
But they go in chassis.
These are more go-fast parts that you can pick up at Good Vibrations. There's but the difference is that there's the Gen 2 is that it now utilizes the Phantom basket that will now keep your fuel pump even more soaked in fuel, so it'll work better for autocross and some other things that rather than just street. This is street, strip, and performance and autocross. So it's a new generation. Some of them will be available July 1, some August 1, and then a bunch more before the SEMA show.
Darr, one thing I notice when I see you at the shows and stuff, and I see all Aeromotive stuffs out on the table you put out, the quality of it and the craftsmanship is like second to none.
And American made.
Yeah, American made. Don't get the phony ones. Right.
But yeah, it's really fun because I always keep track of people who are coming by and they're talking about Aeromotive or something like that, and I always get half dozen guys that go by and just go, "Hey man, good to see you. I don't need these, whatever it is. I always use Aeromotive on all the cars I build, and it's really good." And I've been going to a bunch of like Chris Braun hot rods down in Alameda, and Hot Rods and Hobbies, and of course the guys at Original Parts Group, but talking about the new products that are out there, and it's really been a whole lot of fun to explain the new brushless stuff and the new Gen 2 tanks. So it's pretty cool.
Did I mention I need one of those fuel pumps for my boat?
Yeah, but you didn't tell me you need 32 gallons?
No.
It's 19.
Yeah, I need a 19.
Let me see if I can work on that.
All
right. You got to remind me when we're not in the middle of the show.
Well, no, I do that so I can go back and watch the show again and go, yeah, I did remind him.
Hey, Darr, Darr, I need that pump. Is that what it's going to take? Yeah, thanks.
Call Matusak and have it FedEx.
All right, we'll work that out. We'll work that out before the next show.
There you go.
Or the next race. I'm racing in September.
With Radjic?
With Steve Radjic's boat, Mike Cruz, the famous engine builder, and Scott Campbell.
I've heard of I know that guy.
You know them all.
Yeah.
Great group.
Well, speaking of boat people, you know who else is going to be up at Spokane and Seattle for the UNFC race?
Roland?
No, a guy who used to race boats.
No, but you said boat people.
Oh,
and I know that's how he came over here from Hawaii.
Yeah, but he came on Matson. It wasn't like he came in some dugout.
Yeah, he came on container ship.
He came in a container ship. Yeah,
Kontiki.
But the cars that are coming up for the Spokane race and for the Good Vibrations Motorsports UNFC Championship race at Pacific Raceways. One of the we got Bobby Cottrell, Tim Boychuk, Chris Davis, Stephen Densham, Wally Giavia, Chris Crable, who's driving
Smokey's Dark
car, Jeff Moniz in the quarter pounder, and then a guy by the name of Billy Morris, who's sort of a rookie at driving funny cars, but he's driven a whole lot of other stuff.
Remember that name, because that's the driver of the problem child.
With
Eddie Knox.
With Eddie Knox on drums and Nitro.
Right?
Yep.
Eddie's getting that thing figured out, and once he does, you guys should watch out, because he turned the world of Top Fuel hydros around.
Hey, Eddie, if you're watching, Roland, you and Roland could kind of hook up for one of those events and maybe just, sit and chat about things. Just an idea. Hey, I'm not anybody's agent.
Sounds like it.
I'm not. I want to see Roland back at the drags.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's been helping Ryan Kono.
Yep.
But then also we've got Jason Rupert. Mark Sanders is having a huge party up there for all of his
employees
in concrete and his clients. Elaine Sellers will be debuting her new Firebird up there. She's been running a like a 67 Nova. And Bill Windham will be up there. And
the Shakedown.
And the Lawman Mustang will be making its West Coast debut.
The Lawman.
And I'm holding you to that, Sam. You said you were going to make it. Come on.
That's a big call to go from Detroit all the way to Seattle.
It is, but you got to jump in that pool sometime.
Right?
Yeah. Yep.
Talk the talk and walk the walk.
And then over at Seattle, it's Jeff Arend, Bobby Cottrell, Boychuk, Chris Davis, Stephen Densham, Wally Giavia, Ryan Hodgson will be making an appearance. Chris Crable will be again in the dark side. Jeff Moniz, Billy Morris, Bob Pacito, Jason Rupert, Mark Sanders, Elaine Sellers, Justin Taylor in the evil, wicked, mean, and nasty, and John Weaver and Bill Windham again. So it's going to be quite a show up there. Please, come over and see us. There will be stickers. Just put in the order today for stickers, so there'll be 5x7 stickers that you can buy there for the participants too. There's participant stickers, there's posters, there's T-shirts that are all done that are pretty damn cool. So give it a shot if you're in the Pacific Northwest.
Spokane, the best barbecue place in the country is
that is an awesome
the Longhorn Barbecue.
Great place.
So if you like barbecue.
We just happened upon that place, and it was like, you're driving down the road.
And they got one right down the street from the Seattle track.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, it's a piano bar.
Oh.
Dueling pianos.
I'm going to have to make some notes before we leave here tonight. Hey, Bruce, let's run some commercials here, and we'll come back. And one of the things I'd like to talk with you, Donnie, and I know you're talking to the guys at Coletta's, but about their reaction has been to the change in track prep.
Okay, we'll talk about that.
All right.
Aeromotive Fuel Systems. On the street, in the water, or at the track, if you can drive it, we can fuel it. Good Vibrations Motorsports specializes in the parts you need for gas, alcohol, and nitro engines. If you're muscling a funny car or top fueler down the quarter mile, cutting a rooster tail across the lake, or cruising the boulevard, Good Vibrations has the blower and fuel system solutions for your personal ride and race car. If you want to go fast, really fast, then Good Vibrations Motorsports is ready to hear from you at goodvibesracing.com. Stith Printing is your leader in corporate and individual identity marketing, with over 3 decades of delivering the best quality garments for your budget and promotions. At Stith Printing, we offer in-house design, providing strong graphic solutions for any project with fabric screen printing or high-density embroidery. Stith's diverse background and attention to detail gets the job done on time and on budget, then ships the job to your door. Whether you field an international racing team, a statewide construction company, a local softball team in a church league, or the convenience store down the street, Stith Printing has the crew to deliver your next printing and branding project.
There's only one 4th of July event you can't afford to miss, and it's the Nitro Fireworks Spectacular, Spokane County Raceway. Wednesday, the 4th of July, United Nitro Funny Cars and Good Vibration Motorsports present the fastest heritage funny cars on the face of the earth, along with the fire-snorting jets running side by side. Wheel standers like the Little Red Fire Truck and the famed Hemi under glass. Rock music, the largest fireworks show in Spokane County Raceway history. That's right, the 4th of July, Spokane County Raceway. Bring the whole family because kids 12 and under are free.
Yes, it is the 4th of July already, Bruce.
Well, we've had some fireworks on the show tonight.
Woo! Man.
Well, we've got Drew Austin on the phone now. And I want to get him on. He's just set a national.
He finally called in.
Well, he's been busy. You know how that is.
Well, he's getting married.
He's got that beautiful.
His life's going to change.
Yeah.
Pretty soon, he won't get to race or call into the show. Right? Mark my words, buddy.
Drew, are you there?
Oh, I'm here. I'm sorry, guys. I got stuck at work late, and I didn't get home till about 5 minutes ago, so I'm sorry about that.
That's all right.
Work.
I should have texted you, Darr. I'm a better person than that, but, my memory's been fading off here lately.
Yeah, ever since you hit 240 miles an hour, you're totally wasted.
Oh, yeah. I was drinking plenty of beers after that mile an hour. I promise you that much.
Some serious brain damage.
Donnie, you're not going to kill me, are you?
No, you're all right. Beans, you ran good at the last race. And what'd your competitors have to say about that mile an hour?
Well, we've been on the other end of the stick a lot more than we've been on the good side of the stick. So to finally be on the big side of the stick, that's pretty good. And, whenever we were in that position to where we were getting outrun, we always just put our nose to the grindstone and worked our asses off to find power and put it to the track. And I think it really paid dividends the last race. And my dad really got a good handle on the car last race. And same with the race prior. It's been running good all year, but it really came together the last race as far as the mile an hour goes. And it goes to show that if you want to put the hard work in, it's going to pay off.
Yeah, well, that whole class that you race with, those guys have a lot of respect for you guys, and I know you guys have a lot of respect for like the Bates crew, and you guys go back and forth all the time, and it's a fun little competition there.
Oh, yeah. That's what racing's all about. And, I look at kind of on a smaller scale, obviously, but I look at the matchup between Race and Bates, Ken, and me and Ken racing on the track is kind of a matchup between Brad Anderson and my dad back in the day. As far as they both knew how to make power, they both knew how to get it down the track, and it's exciting for the fans, and you get a lot of the competition brings out the best in everybody, and that Sacramento race was really an exciting final, and we're really fortunate to come out on the winning side.
Yeah, well, you guys are running good and having a good time, and it doesn't get any better than that racing with your family. And
no, not at all.
Back in the day, your dad was the biggest badass out there at the track, and of course, Mike was a badass in the bars.
Yeah, yeah, exactly right.
Right?
You could say that. And,
yeah. We always had a front row seat to a fight.
Exactly. Front row seats and VIP, right?
Right.
And cocktail service.
Just wind them up and point them in the right direction.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be doing it if it wasn't for my family, as far as being able to do it with my family and everybody that goes along with it, from Kenny Dinsmore and Stacy and Austin and Hunter and my fiance. And it's a huge family effort, and we're all friends and we all have a great time, but we also are there to win. So we definitely put our heart and soul into the operation.
I think the best part for us is seeing Walt Austin out there. And
that's
grandfather.
That's great.
It doesn't get any better than that, man. That's some history right there.
No, he loves it, and he always sits down and just watches us, and he has a great time, and it's really cool having him out there and getting his perspective on things.
Yeah, well, a lot of history there, and you got to carry on that family name, so no slouches here, right?
Yep. Since I called in late to the radio show, I figured I'd give you guys a big surprise. Are you ready for it?
Yeah, let's hear it.
All right, here it is. Hang on.
Hi, Donnie.
Walt?
Hi, Darr. This is Pat.
Hey, Pat.
Hey, Pat. Pat Austin, ladies and gentlemen. Nice to have you, buddy. So you're having
How you guys doing?
Good. Not as good as you, racing with your son and throwing up some big numbers on the board.
Yeah. Hey, I got to tell you guys, I with Tom McEwen passing away, Donnie, I know you raced with him, and you guys had a great relationship. He was my brother was the snake, and I was the goose.
Yeah.
When we were kids racing on bicycles and
Right.
throwing the plastic garbage bags out the back, you know?
Yeah,
And
parachutes.
what a guy, and I mean, my God, we're just losing so many. Who's left? I mean, my God, these big heroes and the people that actually have showed us how to do this, and a lot of them have been, you know, there's been a few or some victims of the safety aspect of, hey, this happened to him, we're going to fix it. And those poor guys got burned up and crashed.
Yeah.
And you got to take your hat off to those guys and say thank you. And I think about that all the time.
Well, especially when you got your son in the car. And
Yeah, and you know, the Goose was a special dude. Just like Pluger and those guys. I mean, my
Dale
God,
Emery, you know, Degan.
Oh, those guys were great guys.
Legends.
Great guys.
Well,
on a happier note, though, Donnie, you were a lot skinnier back in the day. I saw a lot of pictures of you online this week.
You know what? You know what,
You were
Pat?
a stud, man.
Okay, well, listen, because you're my hero and I'm trying to model myself after you, that's why I put on the weight. You know?
Great response. Great response.
Well, you know.
That's awesome, man.
Hey,
That's awesome. But I know that you guys are really close. And
yeah, thank you. I mean, he raised me, and it's tough every day. I haven't gotten over this one, and since he died.
They just seem to keep coming, man. And Dale Emery was such a wonderful guy, and I don't know if I've ever met a nicer guy than Dale Emery.
Yeah, he taught me a lot of stuff, and he was good to everybody, and he was just a genius, you know. And I remember.
Yeah, I agree.
One thing about him, he built one of the first flow benches, not one of the first ones, but the first that a team had. And he, you know, all the flow benches, they flow their fuel pumps with water, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not Emery. Emery said, I'm putting nitro in this thing. And he was running that pump, testing a pump, and the nitro fumes were going in the office, and the girls were running out the door thinking the building was going to blow up.
Oh, that's a great story.
Yeah.
That's a great story.
And, you know, that's Dale Emery. Came out with the dual mags, you know, all that.
Absolutely.
You know,
smart guy, you know.
Yeah.
You know, I heard one story one time about Armstrong. You know, he was a crazy fanatic with trying to get ahead of everybody too. And I heard this story about him, and I don't know if it's true or not, but I had a pretty good source said that he hooked. You know, when the dual mag thing came out, he actually was going to go to 3 mags, and there was no rules on it at that time. And he actually got a guy to come out and hook up to a transformer behind his shop. And try to light nitro with a certain amount of voltage, and I guess it was crazier than hell. And I think it's the truth, but I'm not sure. But that's how dedicated those guys were, or how bad they wanted to win.
Yeah, well,
that innovation is to me, it's kind of gone. You know, as far as the nitro cars, I mean, you can't do much. There's got to be a lot of parity, and so I miss that. I miss the innovation side. You know, when you have a nitro funny car that all of a sudden runs a tenth and a half quicker than everybody else, everybody's going, "What the hell did he do?"
Yeah,
which
then
was
you got to
like
go snoop around, right?
Nationals when he put in that lockup clutch, right?
Yeah.
And those things were exciting to me.
And you know, when they ran that, Pat, they ran it at Indianapolis at the U.S. Nationals. And
I was on the starting line.
And it was a single run.
Yep.
So you could hear the motor change pitch going down the track, and we're all looking at each other like, what was that? You know?
Yeah, remember that? It was going down probably 600, 700 feet, and all of a sudden these orange flames came out of the headers, and the motor tugged down. Like, what the hell was that?
Yeah.
It was fantastic. I remember Armstrong. I was at the airport when he was carrying it. He had a big box, and he was carrying the clutch and the whatever all stuff he had with it off the airplane. He didn't ship it. He carried it.
Well, I bet.
That was a pretty cool deal, man.
Well, I remember when Dale Emery first came out with the first dual mag motor, and they were going to put it in and go race at Orange County. They were at little John Lombardo's shop. D. Gant was rolling the motor out of the trailer, and the thing tipped over. You know, like a three-wheeled engine stand, tipped over, and it tipped over on the mag side and broke all the mag drive and everything.
No shit.
I seen a couple veins in Dale Emery's neck right there.
I bet you did.
Yeah, that was something else, man. We talked about that for 25 years.
Well, hey, I don't want to take any more Drew's time here. I'm going to send him back.
Hey, one more thing. Hey, Pat, one more thing. How's the funny car coming?
It's coming. We've got.
Well, you're saying that like you're not even working on it, right?
No. We have been. It's a matter of money for me right now. I think we've got everything. I got the bell housing all set up now. We bought a used bell housing. That's all set up. We sent it back and had everything set up with Trick Titanium. And we've got all the engine stuff. We've got all the transmission stuff. We got all the. I don't have a drive shaft yet. But it's just a matter of I got to get a rear end, which is going to cost me about $8,500 or something. And that's the last expense I got on it. And then we're going to go testing. So I hope we can make some noise by the end of the year.
Well, in the meantime, call Mike Cavallari because he's got a lot of stuff he's getting rid of that. Romine, that Paul Romine is selling now.
Oh, he does. Okay.
Yeah.
So Romine, is he done?
Yeah, he keeps saying it, and I guess we'll see if he shows up for the March meet.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah,
he might show up with just a golf cart. We don't know.
That'd be all right too.
Yeah.
Or we could go fishing with him down in Florida.
There you go.
That'd be all right.
I just hate to see guys quit doing it. I love the sport, and I want to see all the funny cars we can get. So
yeah.
Well,
he's a good racer, and he's a good guy, and I wish it would. I don't like to see people quit.
His biggest issue is that they haven't got any races in the Midwest anymore. IHRA's gone, DRO series is gone, and basically you can go to funny car fever kind of stuff. But as he said to me 100 times, I want to race against the best cars. I said, well,
yeah, and I understand that. Being from Washington State, we got to drive down to Southern California and Bakersfield area and Phoenix and those kind of things, racing the car we're racing now. I wish there was more. I wish it was closer, but I know where I live. But being in the Midwest, that's where it all happens normally. I mean, you can have your race car camp out of Indianapolis, which they all do now, and you can go different ways, 5 or 6 hours and be at races. Well, up here we can't, and so, but it's a choice we make, right? We live up here, and that's what we do. So, I just hate to see people quit, but I understand it's the same thing. So.
Are you going to go to Spokane and in Seattle with the Aid Fueler?
No, I'm not. I think I'm going to stay home on that night.
You're not a good spectator, I've heard.
Well, ask Donnie that.
Yeah, we know that. Well,
all right.
You guys made history in the sport, and you continue to do it with your son. And we love having you, the Austin family, back out here. It was fun watching you and Mike and your dad, Walt.
Thank you.
It's just unbelievable how fun it is watching you guys have.
Donnie, when we started going back into racing after being out for quite some time, and I got to see you at Bakersfield, it brought back so many memories, and it honestly, besides the bang shift thing that brought back some enthusiasm for me, and Darr and coming over and interviewing us and stuff. When I saw you, it brought back so many memories that I forgot about.
It must have been good memories because you didn't slug me in the mouth.
No, you're a counterpuncher. You're just like Trump. But no, it just was. It's taken my enthusiasm to compete with my kid to the level that I'm so thankful for, because it's like the old times. I get to see you guys and I get to hang out. I just don't, my son's driving, and that creates a lot of competition or competitiveness for me.
Yeah.
And but I get to see you guys, so that's wonderful for me too. So
well, we feel the same way,
Pat.
We feel the same way seeing you and your family, man. It's awesome.
And your dad.
My kid's sitting over here pouting because I'm taking all his airtime.
We don't need him anymore.
We're done with him. He's just a driver.
You're the guy who tuned that thing to 240 miles an hour, right?
Yeah. Guys, thank you.
Okay, the great Pat Austin, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, I'm sorry to bore you guys with my dad, but
and who are wait and who are you?
Gift I need to give you guys after leaving you hanging.
I heard you were thinking about driving a funny car.
Yeah, I think about it all the time.
I don't know if you've got that 100% ride yet. I heard they might put Bobby Cottrell in it.
Hey, Bobby's welcome to drive any one of our races.
I know you guys are good friends, and you're responsible for him driving Uncle Bucky's car. So,
yeah, me and him have a lot of fun, and he's coming up. I'll see him here next week for the race wedding. So I'm really excited, and we all have a good time, and that's all that matters. So
yeah, good time, winning, and you're running good and winning. So. Doesn't get any better than that.
Yep, exactly. So we're excited, and we got a good stretch of a break here. So we're going to go through our whole operation and
get that funny car ready.
Check everything. Yep, check all the parts out. Start work on the funny car a little more, and then get ready for Tulsa in September, and hopefully finish the year off with a couple good races and. Hopefully we come out on top.
Yeah, well,
that's a good deal.
We wish you all the luck. We appreciate you being on the show. And
no, I love being on the show. I mean, you guys do so much for this sport, and this show is really, I love listening to it. Every time it's on, I listen to it. So anytime I could come on and chat with you guys, I enjoy the hell out of it, and it means a lot for the drag racing. And I think nostalgia drag racing, it has nowhere to go but up.
Yep.
It's really looking positive.
We need more leaders.
There you go. Thank you for having your dad on the show, the great Pat Austin. Hey, next time we'd like you to have Uncle or Grandpa Walt on there.
Yep, exactly.
We got to get him on the show.
I'll get that done. I owe you guys big. I feel really bad, and I'm sorry about that.
No problem at all, buddy. Don't worry about it.
Please don't take it out on me at the races.
We won't. You're our hero.
Hey, thanks a lot for calling in,
You guys are my heroes, and if I could say one last thing, Godspeed to Mongoose, and he was one of my heroes, and we're all hurting up here, and I know everybody's hurting down there, so let's hope we don't lose any more legends like that anytime soon, that's for sure.
Thanks a lot, man.
Okay, man, thank you so much.
No problem, guys. You guys have a good night.
Okay.
All right. Bye-bye.
Man, what a night, huh? Jeez.
Yeah, great guest, great show, and have Pat Austin jump on there.
Yeah.
That's history right there, buddy.
I heard that voice. Jeez, that sounds so familiar.
Yeah, I didn't know if it was
he was playing
Walt.
It down, too.
Yeah. Well, he'll probably be on Joe Waller's show tomorrow.
That's right. Hey, thanks a lot to all of our great sponsors, Aeromotive Fuel Systems and Good Vibrations and Race Pack Data Systems. I'm getting close to almost finished with the installation in our 69 Valiant of the IQ3S digital dash.
There you go.
It's coming along well. We've torn apart the shop to make more room for, because Zach's going to start welding the chassis on the AFX car. And we got to get it down off of the bend pack, 2-post lift, so I can work on the Valiant, which is underneath it.
Well, that's right. You're the wiring expert over there at that shop. A lot of stuff goes on over there, folks.
A lot of stuff goes on. Again, we got all this stuff. If you're interested in any of the collectible kind of stuff that I have been amassing over these last couple of years, send an email to info@Nitro Reports, or send us a text message on the Facebook page. There's a lot of stuff here. So I want to get rid of it. I want it to go to people who will enjoy it. It's like I just collected it, stuck it in boxes, and
I'm surprised you got it, and it's still in that good a shape. They're like brand new.
They are. In fact, many of them are brand new.
Come to Philippe's, and
in fact, they'll be in my truck if in a very nice box. You come to Philippe's, I'll give you 2 or 3 of them.
If you buy us some beef dip.
And
yeah.
Don't forget what we've got from DJ Safety, some bitchin' shirts. And, of course, the autographed one from Big Ben. So send us an email, send us a text message. We're done. We're exhausted.
Yeah, well, I want to give a shout out to the Agent Orange crew, Steve Radjic, Mike Cruz, Scott Campbell. The other guy, oh no, we got rid of him. We got rid of the other guy. But, and my sister in Maryland was watching the show tonight, and also Bob Lukanoff in Detroit, who hangs out with the Colettas and travels with them. So.
Well, and for all the photos that we got, and thanks very much to Lou Hart for scanning them.
Thank you.
We'll be getting them off to to Lynn Rose to fit it into the event, the celebration of the Goose's life that'll be coming up in July.
Yeah, thank you.
A lot of amazing photos that Thanks for taking the time, Lou. I know you're recuperating, but Tom West left you a tremendous heritage of stuff there to be going through. So thanks a lot for everything you did.
Yeah, appreciate your time.
So we're done.
We're done, Darr.
We're headed for Philippe's. Anybody interested? Meet us there.
Yeah.
Bruce, it's yours.
All right. The encore presentation of this very show comes up next. Thanks for joining us tonight, everybody. We'll see you next time.